Hi, everybody. Welcome to Von Cupcake Yoga. I'm your host, Gretchen, and today we are going to work on our neck and our shoulders. I've had some requests for a little loosening up in the neck and shoulders, especially if you spend a lot of day hunching or you're on your tablets or your screens. So we're going to kind of explore that a little bit today. In our practice, we use blocks, and today I'm also using a yoga strap. So what do you do if you don't have blocks and a strap? Well, that's okay. You can still do this. So if you don't have a block or you don't want to buy a block, they run between $5 and $40, depending on what you're looking for. It's really personal preference, but you can use a book or something roughly the shape and size of this. And then if you don't have a yoga strap, again, very cheap. You can usually find one less than $10. But if you don't want to do that, you can use the tie off of your bathrobe. You can use like a pet leash or something like that. So any type of just long, sturdy fabric strap is going to work. And we're going to come to sit on our blocks. I actually have two blocks, and so I'm sitting on both of them, and because I can, because if you've got a little more junk in the trunk, two blocks is handy. So you're allowed to, because you know what? The yoga police don't come to your house. So you can do whatever you want. Literally nobody's policing this. And so we got our strap. We're going to set it aside. And I'm going to come to sit on my blocks. Now, you don't have to sit on blocks. You can sit straight on the floor. Or if you have like a nice yoga cushion or a sturdy pillow that you'd like to sit on, something to elevate those hips, it's going to give you a little more hip mobility. And we're going to come to our version of an easy seat. Now, maybe that's crisscross applesauce. Maybe you have those legs extended a little bit. These are all right ways to sit. There's not a wrong way to sit down. So find what works for you. And then if you got a little belly like me, press that belly in. That's going to kind of open up your hip mobility a little bit. And we're going to sit up nice and tall, extending all the way up through the crown of our head. So we're going to inhale up towards the ceiling, pull those shoulders back, and let those shoulders settle in. Maybe bring those hands to your knees. Those palms can face up. Those palms can face down. There's not a wrong way to move your hands. And just start to breathe. We're not going to make any changes. We're just observing as we inhale through our nose and exhale through our nose. As you inhale, make yourself feel nice and tall. And as you exhale, let those shoulders feel heavy. Maybe we close down our eyes or bring them to the mat in front of you as we breathe in through our nose and out through our nose. Start to soften those facial muscles. Soften that space in between your eyebrows. Unclench your jaw as you breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Start to focus in on the sound of your breath as you breathe in. Feel that chest expand. And as you exhale, listen for that gentle whoosh, that gentle breath sound. The Ujjayi breath, also known as ocean breath, meant to mimic the sound of the waves as they go in and out. Start to deepen your breath, inhaling a little bit fuller, let that belly expand. And exhale, maybe even tighten up those tummy muscles and pressing out all that old air. Bigger breath in, taking a little more air this time. And exhale. Throughout our practice today, we're going to look for that gentle ache of a good stretch and back out of any actual pain. Everything I tell you is a suggestion and not a command, and make any adjustments to these postures that serve your body best. This is your practice, and yoga is very personal, as you breathe in through your nose and exhale. Continuing to breathe slowly and steadily. We're going to move on exhales, okay? So take a breath in, and on that exhale, roll that chin to your chest. Let that forehead feel heavy. Soften that space in between your eyebrows. Take a breath in and exhale. Let that forehead feel a little bit heavier. On your next exhale, roll that right ear over that right shoulder. And maybe tilt and dip your chin in a couple different directions. Find something nice and juicy that feels right for you and take a breath in. And exhale, let that left shoulder feel heavy. Maybe that left shoulder feels so heavy that those fingertips gently come off of your knee and point down towards the floor. And maybe we extend those fingertips out, maybe a little bit back, and just kind of point that chin in some directions and find maybe a little deeper version of that stretch. Take a breath in and let it go. And on that next exhale, release fully. Bring that hand back to your knee. Bring that chin to your chest. Take a breath in and let it go. Moving on that exhale, roll that left ear over that left shoulder. Point and dip your chin in a couple different directions till you feel that juicy custom neck stretch just for you. Take a breath in. Let that right shoulder feel heavy. Maybe that right shoulder feels so heavy that those fingertips slide off your knee. Maybe they point down towards the floor, maybe out a little bit, maybe back a little bit. And point that chin a little bit more. Find some gentle movement. Take a breath in and let it go. And moving on that next exhale, release. Roll that chin to your chest. Bring that hand back to your knee. And maybe slowly start to shake your head no. Now think of how an elephant sways his head from side to side, maybe even leading with your forehead. It's not an actual correct proper head shake, no. It's more of a sway. And maybe observe those sensations you're feeling in your neck. You might even hear little crunchy sounds. That's just the fascia loosening up and adjusting and moving. And the fascia is this wonderful webbing that holds all of our muscles together. But that also has pain receptors in it. So give that neck a good sway from side to side. Very Stevie Wonder. That's kind of what we're going for. And take 2 more breaths like this. And gently bring that chin back to your chest. And slowly, slowly bring that head back up to center. Take a big breath in. Draw those shoulders up to your ears. And on that exhale, let those shoulders sink down nice and low. Inhale, draw those shoulders up to your ears. And exhale, let those shoulders sink down nice and low. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to bring our hands to our knees. And as we inhale, we're going to tuck that tailbone, tuck that chin, and round that back behind you, feeling a little seated cat pose. And then on that next breath, we're going to let that chest come forward, maybe even lean forward, pull those shoulders back. It's a seated cow pose, so that back is arched. Inhale, round that spine, bring that chin to your chest, tuck that tailbone, feel that spine round out. And then shift it forward, let that heart lower down, maybe those elbows point back, maybe that chin tilts up, find a little arch in that back. One more time each side, round that spine, find that seated cat pose. And one more time for that seated cow pose. And back to stillness. All right, friends, let's play with our strap here. Now, we want our legs to be comfortable. We're not really working the legs today. So if sitting crisscross applesauce starts to feel a little bit much, it's okay to extend a leg or extend the other leg. We'll play with the legs a little bit, but right now we're really focusing on our neck and our shoulders. So we've got our strap here. And I like to start with a baseline measurement. So your distance between your hands is really going to depend on what your shoulders are going to allow. And it's going to be different for everybody. So you are invited to move and adjust to find what works for you. But we're going to start with the distance of our knees. And so we're bringing our arms straight out ahead of us, and we're holding on to that strap at about the distance of your knees. So that's sort of kind of a little bit wider than your shoulders. And maybe inhale those arms up towards the ceiling, and maybe let those arms just kind of pulse back just a little bit. Now, not so much that we're pulling that head forward. We want to keep this spine nice and tall. We want to keep that head extended up towards the ceiling. We're just letting those arms just kind of dip back. They might only move like an inch or two. So we're going to start here, and you might notice they may not go back very far, and that's okay. That means that maybe this is just not the right length for you. So to figure out where you're going, if you want to dip those arms back, kind of go until you feel it, but maybe it feels good to separate those hands a little bit more. And then, see, now my arms are much further apart from each other. If we lift them up towards the ceiling, we can really start to pulse them back. You might start to feel a little stretch in those pec muscles. And then maybe we just keep kind of playing with it and separate those arms a little bit more. And then maybe we extend those arms a little bit back behind us. So we kind of have the strap going over the top of our head and back behind you. So if we hang out here for a second, you might feel a nice little chest stretch. And to kind of aid that, maybe press that heart forward and maybe look up a little bit here. Feel that pull. And then on that exhale, bring those arms up and over. Let those arms lower all the way down. And take a breath here. And exhale, let those shoulders feel heavy. Great job. Let's do that one more time. So we're going to start at just the width of wherever our knees are. Inhale those arms up. And then slowly start to widen those hands till you feel like you're at a spot where you can allow those arms to come back behind you. Just a little bit. We're not bringing them down around our hips. We're literally just kind of sending that strap up and over to the back of your head. So around to the front of your head and around to the back of your head. And maybe we hang out with those arms going behind you for a breath or two. Maybe we prefer movement. There's not a wrong way to do this. We're just kind of opening up that heart. We're going to do 2 more times. And 1 more time. Great job. Lower those straps down. We'll set those straps aside for right now. Take a breath in and let it go. Great job. Now, if you're like me and we got a little ADHD, need to move around a little bit, this is a great place to kind of wiggle just a little bit, maybe readjust your legs, whatever feels right for you. But once you're there, inhale those arms up. Great job. And we're going to bring this right hand to our left knee, and this left hand is going to go directly behind our hip. Press in either to that floor or the blocks or a bolster, whatever you're sitting on. Inhale to make yourself feel nice and tall. And we're going to lead into this twist with our belly. So we're going to go belly, shoulders, and then head. For every inhale, make yourself feel nice and tall. And for every exhale, maybe we deepen that twist just a little bit more. Another big breath in. And exhale, twist just a little bit more. It may feel good to stay in this position, but turn your head so you're looking over that right shoulder. Inhale fully, make yourself feel nice and tall. And exhale, feel that body just settle back in. And turn your head back over that left shoulder. One more breath in. And on that exhale, release. Draw that body all the way back to center. Take a breath in and let it go. All right, friends, we're going to go to the other side. Inhale those arms up. And we're going to bring this left hand to our right knee. And this right hand's going to come directly behind that right hip. Press into that block or the bolster or the floor. Take a breath in, sit up nice and tall. And on that exhale, twist with your belly, then your shoulders, and then your head. For every inhale, make yourself feel nice and tall. And for every exhale, maybe we deepen that twist just a little bit more. Take a couple breaths here. And maybe start to turn that head over that left shoulder. And slowly turn your head back over that right shoulder. Big breath in. And on that exhale, draw that body back to center. Great job. Inhale those arms up. Big stretch. This time we're going to bring this right hand down to the floor. And this left hand's going to come up and over. Take a moment here. Press that left hip into the bolster or the block or the floor as you reach that left arm out. You can look up or you can look down. You can even walk these right fingers out and bend into that elbow to deepen that stretch. But wherever you land, bring your attention right to those ribs. Take a breath in. Feel those ribs open up and let it go. This time, take a breath in and maybe press into that right hand. Feel those little muscles expand and release. One more time, big breath in. And this time, friends, tighten up those tummy muscles. Draw that body back to center. Take yourself a breath in and out. Excellent. Let's go to the other side. Inhale those arms up. Big stretch here. And we're going to bring this left hand down to the floor, and this right hand's going to come up and over. Take a moment, press that right hip into the floor, the bolster, or whatever you're sitting on, and reach that right arm. We can look up or down, but bring all your attention to that little bitty area between those ribs. Take a breath in, feel them gently opening up, and release. Maybe inhale and press that left hand into the floor, and release. One more time, big breath in. And this time, we're going to tighten those tummy muscles. Draw that body back to center. Great job. All right, friends, I've got another stretch for you while we're seated, and then we're going to move one more time. Inhale those arms straight out from your shoulders. Press that heart forward, maybe even tilt that chin up. And then exhale, give yourself a hug. Now, walk those fingertips back so you're kind of lining up the elbows, but depending on how much adipose tissue you have, that may not be a thing for you, and that's okay. Whatever feels about right. It doesn't have to be exact. We're not looking like Instagram models. We are only trying to take care of ourselves. So we're going to take a breath in, and on that exhale, maybe lift up those elbows a little bit. Now, this is just a gentle version of eagle pose. There are many different options for eagle pose, but this is the one that I choose to do. But if you know a different one that you like to do, please, by all means, this is your practice. You can take eagle here however you like. We're going to take another breath in and let it go. Start to round that spine away from you, kind of like we did with that seated cat pose. And kind of just observe that sensation. And maybe tuck that tailbone, maybe tuck that chin. Find a little breath here. And then come back to sitting nice and straight. Slowly lower those elbows down. Slowly release those hands. And just kind of wiggle out those shoulders a little bit. Maybe reverse directions. Just kind of wiggle them out. And we're going to inhale those arms out to the side and exhale, draw those arms back. And we're going to focus on bringing the other arm to the top. So if you are doing the exact same, just kind of switch arms real quick and kind of walk those fingers back, kind of lining up those elbows. It doesn't have to be perfect. Mine aren't perfect, and that's okay. Take a breath in and then exhale fully. Inhale, maybe lift up on those elbows, and exhale. Find your version of eagle. This is the one I choose, but if you know one you love, that's a great eagle too. And maybe start to round that spine, maybe tuck that tailbone, maybe tuck that chin. Find a little spine stretch here. One more breath. And on that exhale, let that back come back straight. Lower those elbows down. Release. Maybe wiggle out those arms a little bit. Great job. Great job. All right, friends. From here, we are going to extend our legs. We're going to give those legs a little bit of love, even though we're focusing on our neck and shoulders today. We still want to give our legs a little bit of love. So extend those legs out as wide as feels comfortable. Maybe bring those hands to rest on your thighs. Take a big breath in. And on that exhale, fold forward. Let those hands slide down towards your ankles. Let that heart lower down. Take a breath and let it go. Slowly, slowly start to walk those hands back. Inhale those arms up. We're going to pivot our whole body so we're over that left extended leg and fold. Reach till you feel that stretch. Let those hands come down. Big breath in. And exhale, walk those hands back. Come back to center. Inhale those arms up. We're just going to the other side. Pivot that body over that right extended leg. Fold forward. Reach till you feel that stretch, and then bring those hands down. They do not have to be around your feet. Mine are actually around my calves, and it's still feeling a great stretch. So you do what works for you. Take a breath in, and maybe let that heart lower down. Great job. Start to walk those hands back nice and gentle, nice and easy, back to center. All right, friends. From here, we're going to go to our tabletop posture. So that's going to be hands and knees. So if you're sitting on your blocks, you can come off of those blocks and maybe move that strap aside. We might play with it later, we might not, but it's always there for you. And we're going to come to that tabletop posture, hands and knees. Those knees are sort of kind of going to be underneath our hips, and those wrists are sort of kind of going to be underneath those shoulders. But if you've got crabby wrists or crabby shoulders, maybe slightly forward is okay for you, and that's totally fine. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Take a breath in and let it go. Inhale, round that spine up towards the ceiling. Tuck that chin, tuck that tailbone, maybe even pressing into those hands, just like you're getting lifted up in a claw machine. And on that exhale, let that belly drop, arch that back, shine that heart forward, maybe even looking up, cow pose. One more time on each. Inhale, round that spine up towards the ceiling, tuck that chin, tuck that tailbone, press into those hands. And exhale, let that belly drop. Great job. All right, come back to your tabletop. We're going to play with thread the needle, and I have struggled with thread the needle my whole life because I've always had a lot of tension in my neck and shoulders. So I'm going to show you some modifications for this that might work better for you. So we're going to start on this left side. We're going to inhale this left arm up towards the ceiling, and you see this little triangle between my knee, my leg, and my arm. This is the eye of your needle. So we're going to inhale that arm up towards the ceiling. And on that exhale, we're going to bring that arm through that little eye of the needle, and we're going to aim to let that elbow, maybe that shoulder, come down to the floor. So this is where, if you have excess adipose tissue, might be where you're at. Some people can go all the way down, and that's okay too. But let me show you this trick. Reach over and grab your block. Bring that block down. Spread those knees a little bit wider, okay? Sink those hips back a little bit, just like you were almost going into child's pose. And now let that arm thread through the needle. Let that shoulder come down, and you can bring that ear to the block. Letting that shoulder feel nice and heavy. You're doing thread the needle on this side. Now this can be done completely without the block, but I have found for my body, and probably other bodies too, that this is going to be a good modification for that posture. Take another breath in, and on that exhale, we're going to press into those hands. We're going to slowly, slowly start to crawl ourselves out, coming back to that tabletop posture. So let's try the other side, shall we? So we've got our little needle here, which is our arm and our leg, and this little triangle here is our eye of our needle. We're going to inhale that right arm up towards the ceiling, and on that exhale, we're going to draw that right arm right into that little needle. Maybe let those knees go nice and wide, and maybe let those hips sink back. Maybe that left hand crawls forward, and we're going to allow this arm to just kind of extend out, bringing our ear or maybe our shoulder down to the floor or block. Big breath in and let it go. Give yourself another breath. And on that exhale, start to gently press yourself out, pressing into those hands, slowly, slowly working yourself back to your tabletop posture. And grab that block and move it out of the way. Give yourself a cat pose. Give yourself a cow pose. Back to that tabletop. And my friends, from here, we're going to crawl forward and come on down to a seat. And I'm going to grab a hold of my strap and just bring it to the side of the mat for me. And I'll set my blocks aside. We probably won't use them again today unless in your personal practice you'd like to. You can do whatever you want. This is your party. I am just your guide. And come on down to your back. Let's take up a little space here. Maybe let those feet splay out to the side. Maybe let those arms extend out to the side. And maybe we turn those palms to face the ceiling. It just kind of encourages that heart to stay nice and open, encourages those shoulders to feel nice and heavy. Inhale and exhale. We're going to bend into that left leg. And let that left leg just kind of sway from side to side. Now, this is the pose. You really don't have to do anything else. This is the basic roots of this pose. But if you're wanting something a little bit more, we're going to grab a hold of our strap, and we are going to bring the ball of our foot into that strap and extend that left foot towards the ceiling. Just like this. Now, it doesn't have to be exactly at the ceiling, just kind of where that feels. And maybe give that strap just a real gentle tug, just encouraging that leg to kind of head into the direction of your head. Now, we're definitely not folding ourselves in half. We are just pointing it in that direction. As we press our heel to the ceiling, maybe we let that leg sway a little from side to side. Maybe we let that leg lean over to the right. You might feel a nice IT band stretch there. Just kind of moving it from side to side. And we're going to gather both of those straps together and walk our hands up the straps just till you feel a real nice stretch up the back of your leg. And you're going to hold on to both of those straps with your left hand, releasing that right hand down. Maybe it's out to a T and maybe that palm is facing up. That way we can keep that chest encouraged to stay nice and open. Take a big breath. And on that exhale, let that left leg start to splay out to the left, maybe even bending into that elbow. Give yourself a little kickstand and experiment with pressing that heel away or pointing those toes. Just kind of feeling those sensations. Take a couple breaths and let it go. Bend gently into that knee. Draw that leg back up to center. Press that heel towards the ceiling. We're going to switch our grip. So we're holding on with our right hand, releasing that left hand down. we're going to bring all of our attention to that left hip. We want to keep that baby anchored right there to the mat as we allow this left leg just to kind of lean to the right. You should feel a nice stretch up the side of your leg. That's your IT band. Culprits for lots of pain, so give it some love. And if your body's craving more, you can stay here, or you can let that hip lift up and let that leg continue its journey over to the right, where you can experiment with flexing that foot and pointing those toes. One more breath in. And gently bend into that knee. Draw that leg back to center and extend that heel towards the ceiling. We're going to split those straps in our hands and get a good firm grip. And we're going to bring that right foot up to meet the left. Point those heels towards the ceiling. Maybe a little sway from side to side. Observe each leg. Is there a difference between them? Do they feel different? Do they feel the same? Are there no changes? All of these things are right answers. Our bodies are different. So just kind of see, making no judgments, just observing. And then we're going to keep that right foot in the strap and let that left foot come down and extend out. Draw those straps a little closer to you. Press that heel away. Maybe allow that leg to sway a little from side to side. And gather those straps together. Walk your hands gently up those straps, just till you feel that nice stretch up the back of that right leg. And we're going to grab both of those straps with our right hand, releasing that left hand down. Take a breath in. And on that exhale, let that right leg splay out to the right. Maybe bend into that elbow. Find a little kickstand here. Point and flex your foot. Observe those sensations. Take a breath in and let it go. Gently bend into that knee, draw that leg back to center, press that heel towards the ceiling. We're going to switch our grip, holding on with our left, letting that right hand go, and bringing all of our attention to that right hip. We want to keep that baby anchored to the floor as we allow that right leg just to kind of lean to the left. Observe that little IT band stretch. You may not go very far, and that's okay. And you can stay right here. This is a great place. But if you want a little different, a little more, maybe let that hip lift up. Let that leg continue its journey over to the left. And maybe turn that head to the right, finding that reclined twist on this side. Take a breath and let it go. One more breath in. And on that exhale, bend into that knee, draw that leg back to center, extend that heel towards the ceiling. Split those straps in your hands. Get a good firm grip and then bring that left foot up to meet the right. All right, I think that you guys are ready for a little bit of choreography. So we're going to press those heels towards the ceiling, find a little sway, just a little one, and start to crisscross your straps. Come into a little stillness here. Bend into those knees and draw the soles of your feet together and gently pull on those straps as you draw those feet in toward your groin. And maybe a little rocking from side to side here. And then here's my favorite part. Start to loosen your grip on the straps, letting those feet staying in that little position, lower down to the floor. And then we can just let go of the straps. We'll move them out of the way later. And extend those arms out to a T, and this time our palms are facing up. And then draw those fingertips away from you. So we're making like cactus arms. So just bending into those elbows. And then draw those fingertips towards each other. So now we're making like a figure 8 with our bodies. Letting those knees feel heavy. Letting those elbows feel heavy. Close your eyes. This is our final posture for today. This is my favorite de-stressing posture. Encourages that heart to stay nice and open. Take a breath in through the tips of your toes. Draw that breath all the way up your spine and out the top of your head. And on that exhale, draw that breath down through your spine and all the way out the tips of your toes. Soften those facial muscles and just breathe here. And I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Just let yourself go. Start to gently reach down and grab a hold of that strap. Unthread yourself. Set that strap aside. Bring your hands to the outsides of your thighs and draw those knees back up to center towards the ceiling. Maybe let those knees sway a little from side to side. And when you're ready, and as you are ready, slowly press yourself up to your easiest, most comfortable seat. Sit up nice and tall. Take a breath in and let it go. Let those shoulders feel so heavy. Wiggle around a little bit. Big breath in and release. Draw those palms together to prayer and right at your heart center. And as we give honor to the beautiful culture that gave us yoga, we recite, the light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel a ton better. Please consider giving me a thumbs up and sharing me with your friends, subscribing to my channel. I've got new videos dropping all the time. I've got a really great series called Yoga 101, which I do one pose at a time breakdowns. If you're looking for a pose that you don't see, let me know and I will do a pose breakdown for you. And we will keep this train going. And until next time, my friends, take care of each other. Bye-bye.